Hello, everyone. So today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Galvatron. So I've had this figure for a while now, almost a year, I think, and he's been part of my collection since I'm collecting the 86 figures. And I thought to myself, since there are a lot of new 86 figures that's coming out with the new design of the Seekers with Soundwave, I was thinking that does this guy still hold up? So that's why we're going to take a look at him. So when this was first released, this was a really good figure. And to be fair, it still is a really good figure. It's very accurate to how he appeared in the 86 movie. The paint is very accurate. His color is really accurate to the show. And I love the face sculpt. This is actually a repaint of the War for Cybertron Kingdom version of Galvatron, and it just became a very more accurate G1 Galvatron. What didn't change is his face sculpt and everything else. Well, mostly his gun or his cannon become this opaque solid orange, while the Kingdom version is translucent. And of course, the color scheme is different. And yeah, if you look closely, there is a Decepticon logo right there. I love the purple, like it's a bluish purple color, and the Decepticon logo is very purple. At the back, barely any kibble. The only big kibble that we have is the tracks here behind his forearms. But aside from that, this is a really perfect Galvatron mold. Now for articulation, this guy can wiggle his head all the way. He can rotate his shoulders the full 360, and it can even move up like this because there is a really nice joint right there. His bicep can swivel. Really good elbow bend right there due to transformation, and then there is a wrist swivel. Unfortunately, no hand articulation or finger articulation for this guy. His waist can swivel really nice. His hips or legs can kick sidewards that far, forwards pretty much that far, and backwards, oops, just until the backpack constrains him. There is a thigh swivel, a 90-degree knee bend, and of course there is the standard ankle pivot. And if you mistransform this, you can actually do a better range of ankle pivot, but I don't want to do it. So anyway, let's go. Let's move on with the review. Now this guy comes in with a lot of accessories, which are pretty similar to the Kingdom version. First off, his fusion cannon, or his version of the fusion cannon, which can be detached into two pieces: the main cannon and, excuse me, the one that's holding it. So there are 5mm ports in his forearm and in his bicep. You can attach it anywhere you want, but I preferred attaching it to the bicep, or no, not the bicep, to the forearm. And then he also comes with two extra guns, which is actually the design of the spaceship in which Unicron gave Galvatron and his new team in order to hunt for the Autobots. And they can be combined to form a bigger gun, which is really nice. And then he comes with the matrix of leadership, as well as the chain, which of course you can attach it or place it on his head. And for weapon storage, these two guns can attach to these two hooks on his back, which actually makes Galvatron a little bit more menacing because of the extra guns or extra height given. Now, in order for us to know whether this guy still holds up, I'm going to do a bunch of size comparisons with Studio Series figures, or 86 figures. Of course, the first size comparisons we're going to do is with the Legend Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And as you can see, they look really good together, side by side. Next up is the newly re-released with a new color Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, and the size comparison here is really nice. Hot Rod is definitely a lot smaller than Galvatron in the movie, which hopefully when we get the new what do you call it, Rodimus Prime next year, I think it will be next year that it will be released. I really do hope that matches well with this Galvatron. my recently reviewed Studio Series 86 Scourge. This is the re-release, and as you can see, Scourge and Galvatron is kind of in the middle of the Warfare Cybertron molds and the new Studio Series 86 molds, where there are a little less gribble than than what's what's used to be for Warfare Cybertron. As you can see, I have here the Studio Series 86 Dramatic Capture Series Starscream, which is the Earthrise mold. It has a lot of gribble and detailing there. Let me just focus camera. And here I have the new Seeker mold, Studio Series 86 Thundercracker. And as you can see, it's really smooth. It doesn't have any detailing, surface detailing. And Galvatron and Scourge is kind of in the middle of those, with a lot of smooth parts, but also some gribble, as you can see there in the thighs and on the legs, but very minimal, unlike the one that I showed earlier, which is Starscream. And then the new Seeker mold, SS86 Thundercracker, Studio Series 86 Soundwave, and of course, finally, the near perfect Studio Series 86 Megatron. And as you can see, Galvatron is supposed to be like a better, bigger, better version of Megatron, but looking at them side by side, Megatron definitely matches up with Galvatron in terms of like fearsomeness. So here we have Galvatron in his alt mode, which is basically a tank thingy. So it's an awkward looking tank. He has tracks up front and some type of stand at the back. So I would assume he wouldn't be rolling, but he does roll. He actually has wheels underneath his tracks. Now, this is a very beautiful alt mode in a way that it really resembles what he looked like in the movie in the very few times that he actually transformed. The very first one was when he killed Starscream in the movie. And yeah, it's very accurate to how he appeared. Although there are a lot of parts here, but I love the color combination, like the bluish purple going along with the gray and dark gray right here. And of course, the orange cannon really looks good. It's just at the back, it's a bit hollow, but I guess we really can't do what they did in the movie. If I remember correctly, the one in the movie was just this front one as the legs. We didn't really get to see the back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I remembered it. But yeah, this is a really good alt mode in terms of representation and size. As you can see, it's really massive. It's bigger than my hand, as you can see, and I'll do some size comparisons just for you guys to see how massive this actually is. First off, we have the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. As you can see, he dwarves Optimus Prime's alt mode. Here we have Studio Series 86 Megatron. As you can see, Galvatron is still way bigger. I have Studio Series 86 Soundwave here just to compare how big Galvatron is compared to his cassette mode. And finally, his rival in the movie, Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, the magenta one. And this is actually the first time I've transformed Hot Rod after I did the review on him. And I gotta say, it's really fun to transform him, and he looks really beautiful in alt mode. Also, you can attach all of his accessories to him. Well, kinda. So these are the tabs behind Galvatron in his robot mode, where you can attach these guys, or these things, his guns. So just attach them as usual, or per usual, just like that. And on the side, just like that. And the matrix will just hang by his cannon, which looks awkward, but you can also tab it here, I believe. Yeah, you can tab it here on his chest, but it's for it not to move. So that's one way to connect it. And he looks more menacing that way. His alt mode looks really cool. Has a lot more guns and a lot more attitude to it. So my final thoughts on the Studio Series 86 Galvatron, and does he still hold up to the current Studio Series 86 figures? To be honest, in alt mode, sorry, the alt mode is really amazing. It still represents the cartoon really well. His robot mode, feature-wise, like aesthetic-wise, he still looks great. He still looks very accurate to the movie. My minor concerns are probably some minor improvements to the mold or even to the design of him in total, because I think Galvatron should be at least a little bit bigger than Megatron. And based on the size comparisons that I showed earlier, he is in at the same height as Megatron. In my opinion, he should be a little bit more imposing. So probably an additional height for him, an additional height, and hopefully articulated hands or fingers. And probably they could do with a little bit more different face design. Like it should probably have a little bit more expression since he is really angry in the movie. And of course, with the articulated hands or fingers, he can finally hold the matrix of leadership if that happens. But yeah, everything else looks good for me. And if you already have the Kingdom version, this you don't necessarily need to buy this. But if you don't, then yes, definitely buy this figure because it's a really good G1 Galvatron. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you do. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time. Bye bye.